Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've been out for a little bit. A lot of life things going on, cattle, you name it. It's been so busy, work. I haven't had time to touch a bike. Literally I haven't touched anything on a bike in weeks, months. So I'm putting the CB750 on hold at this point. This is later on in the winter project, so I got plenty of time. But I have a new project that I want to get started because this project will help with some of the future projects on the CB750 build. So stay tuned and I'll show you what we got. All right, here we are. I don't know if some of you may know what this is, some may not. I bought this on eBay. This is a 1997 Benchman VMC5000, basically a 3-axis machining center, and it's a benchtop style. I picked it up on eBay. It has no electronics in it. It's basically the machining carcass. I purchased it from a guy who had a few others and was saving this one but decided not to do it. So I picked it up from him, shipped it up from Pennsylvania. So I'm going to refit this baby. It's going to get Mach 3, all new servos and drivers in it. The spindle I got to experiment with and see what it's got for an actual spindle motor in it. This baby spins 10,000 RPMs and it was rated at 200 inches a minute with the servos that it had in there. That's some of the other components that go with it, so all the covers and everything. So this baby's going to get completely refitted, new paint work, make it look somewhat brand new again, and be able to set this up and machine a few items that we want. Just things are just laying inside there. This thing come with a it has a 4 tool post ATC in it. The drawbar has been removed. It's a pneumatic drawbar. Most of the covers that go on it, where the motor's set, etc. I mean, this is really antiquated equipment. 1997. This would be the encoder for the servo motor that would sit in here to drive the assembly. Like I said, all the electronics has been removed. This thing had a separate computer system that didn't come with it, and I didn't need it because all the modern electronics, everything will fit inside this electronics panel that housed the original equipment anyways. So this will get removed, get all cleaned up. Like I said, it'll get stripped down, repainted. A lot of new hardware because there's some hardware missing, definitely. I mean, when I got the thing, it came with full of box full of stuff. I mean, it had the extra switches. The drawbar itself, looking at it, looks like it needs to be rebuilt. A bunch of den rails and all the pulleys and stuff that came off with the motor that's for the Z-axis. Other than that, I was able to rotate it a little bit. Ball screws seem great. So basically, I said I'm going to go through this thing, clean it all up, repaint it, and retune it, and see how she runs from there. So anyways, there's more to follow on this. So this is going to be another series of videos, basically the refit of the Benchman 5000. Hey everybody, all right, we're back. I got the bench. I made it really heavy duty because this machine is close to 700 pounds. I like wood. My shop's built with wood. Most of my cabinets are wood. I just built it heavy duty to make sure it would support the weight of this machine. But anyways, I removed all the covers have been removed. I removed the enclosure top, the back area, most of it, like I said, access so I can get to the motors, etc. There's still a few other little things in here. If you're not familiar, this Benchman has the base of this thing is actually the coolant tank. So these are the filter screens. It really needs to be cleaned. This thing's been sitting for storage for who knows how long. But anyways, it's full of mung, dried out coolant that's in there. So it's going to require a lot of cleaning. And there's the other side, access to it. And then under the back section here is the coolant pump. It's just a regular old, like, fish aquarium pump kind of thing. Water, it pumps water. In the back side, here's all the electronics that's been removed. So you can see it's just kind of a wiring nightmare. The ATC solenoids and the drawbar air solenoids are still in place. I'm hoping they still function. This looks like the either the motor driver / power supply for the spindle motor. I'm hoping all that's still functioning rather than having to modify and make a different spindle motor that's in there. And you can see it says what, 100, it's a brushless DC motor, 1 horsepower, 160 volt DC, 7 amps, so 7200 RPMs. So I'm going to assume this thing is reverse, either 1 to 1 or less than that to 1, because on the tag it shows maximum speed is 10,000 RPMs. So I'm not sure if that correlates, but if it is the minimum, if it's 7,200 RPMs, that'll be pretty decent for machine. Also, if you're unfamiliar, it looks like a granite bedways and the linear rails that go on there. I'm kind of hoping they clean up. These all look, the Z-axis looks pretty good. Of course, the X-axis looks good. The Y is not, don't look as pretty. So I'm hoping this is just some staining. Maybe you'll be able to clean up a little bit. I haven't moved it around a lot because I physically want to clean all the rails before I start functioning things and trying to administer dirt, because there's no, the covers were not on this thing, so I don't want to put dirt in the actual bearings at this point. So this point is going to be all clean up, breaking things down. You can see, like I said, these are the servo motors that's on it. That's the encoder, and then the wiring that's coming through. All the stuff is going to get replaced. It's going to get all new motors with E2 250 encoders on here. All of my electronics. I spoke with Duncan over at CNC for PC.com. He's a great gentleman. He's been helping me out here. This is not my first CNC machine. This one was my first CNC machine. Pardon the stuff. I've been trying to make room to get this thing in here. This was a old Harbor Freight mill that I bought well over 20 years ago, and I had it CNC, and it worked great. I made a lot of parts off of it, but I hated it because I didn't have this function of the Z-axis. I had made my own Z-axis on there to get rid of the backlash and stuff that was administered with using this style system. And I just got tired of it. Anytime I wanted to do something simple using the manual mill, it was a total nightmare dealing with the Z-axis. So I returned this machine completely back to stock, and I put a DRO on it, and I'm much happier with using the manual mill now. And so I wanted a dedicated CNC milling machine, and I acquired this one off of eBay, relatively good price. Everything here is American made. I'm happy with it, and it's just going to be refit it, get this thing up to modern standards, replace the bearings where I do it, you know, in the spindle, and that kind of stuff that needs to be done, clean up, fresh paint, and we will get this thing up and running. So I'm going to conclude this as just an introductory for this thing, and the following videos I will be touching base in on. I'm not going to focus on the cleanup or any of that kind of stuff. It's going to start dealing with the wiring and that kind of thing. Any kind of special mounts that I got to make, because my servo, I'm not using these. There's only 2 of them here, and I'm missing the brush out of this one with the cap, so that kind of makes it a little tough. I could probably find one, but I'm not worried about it. But I have some new stepper or servo motors to put on here that'll work just fine, and then get it all wired up, and we'll start from there. So the next episode we will be focusing on, you know, getting the wiring ready. So hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. Follow up on this thing. If you have a Benchman, like I said, these videos will continuously pump out as long as I got work to do for it. So that's it. See ya.